creature of the night, not the most pleasant of sight. If alone, gaze into the darkness, I will be there representing blood's kiss. Creature of the night, don't mean to bring you fright. I'm a creature of the night, not the most pleasant of sight. If alone, gaze into the darkness, I will be there representing blood's kiss. All right, hello everyone. Live here another week. How's it going? And a little sneak peek. I'm hoping this is the last week of this setup. Currently, we're all huddled around this one camera because I do have a secondary. I ordered upgraded one that shoots in the 60 frames per second, 1080p, so it'll be better quality. So I'll use that for me, and then this one that you're watching us through now will be set up as a second correspondence table thing just yonder. So hoping to have that in play next week. Probably play around with it and practice before we go live, obviously, next Friday. But,
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss the stuff on the background for that.
well, like I said, we can always order another light, which with time things will probably happen.
You got a sphere, so we're about to open anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, no, those aren't too expensive. We can get another one. I
Yeah,
get
the
the
only
fire
thing
one too, which I wouldn't mind having.
Remember that one that I showed you that had the stars on it when we
Mhm.
went to guitar store? I have a similar one upstairs,
Yeah.
but it doesn't move around or anything. It just has it as the background.
I can
Right.
leave that Will Byers wall with the Christmas lights and
Right.
Mhm.
everything. The Ouija board.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So I'll get that station set up for that, because it's generalized over there, but we just have to set it up as more of a studio looking thing for live. But yeah, so that's the plan with that, and then yeah, I'm trying to think something. What else we really have for updates?
Oh, we gotta update your background so it doesn't show your icons anymore like it used to.
Oh, I could probably change something. I mean, the Creatures of the Night one that photos from the night we moved in here. I thought about even just revamping the whole
Oh, you could.
whole thing. Maybe have something that's a motion back. That's just
Yeah.
kind of looping and playing. I don't know.
We gotta hide those icons.
Yeah.
It'll just look better.
So hey, let me know that I have Bitfinder right here and Mafia and
At least you have nothing
Everyone-
with like
everyone wants
our
to
phone
know.
numbers or anything
Right,
like
don't
that.
have
That'd
that.
be a little bit more
that'd be
concerning.
Social Security number just as a screensaver. It pops up when I'm not touching the mouse. Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, there's an update for you. I finally got my documents.
Yes, talk about how that was about a month and over
Oh
a
my
month.
gosh. No, my sister had sent them out. She didn't have a tracking number or anything for them, but they were supposed to get here the 5th, and we ended up checking the P.O. box yesterday, and they were there, so.
Well, and back,
Ugh.
rewind a little bit more. They were supposed to get here. I can't remember the date,
Oh
but
my
it was
gosh.
sometime in early June.
So my friend Nick, bless his heart, he tried to send them out to me, but because of his work schedule, he wasn't able to get to a post office before they closed. So his solution was to put like 3 different stamps on it on a priority mail thing that costs about $10.70 to send. 3 stamps isn't going to cover that. Luckily, they kicked it right back to him versus it ending up in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
So I had him drop it off to my sister so that I knew it would get out. Well, she had her own issues with getting to the post office on time. So it took her a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks to be able to actually send it out. But as soon as she did, she made sure to let me know. So
Yeah.
I got them. That's all that matters now.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just my birth certificate and social. It was my kids' birth certificates and socials. So that made it even more of a concern if it ended up in limbo. I wasn't just replacing mine, I was having to replace theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was not looking forward to doing all of that, especially seeing how they were born in Indiana, so was I. I would have to get a hold of them, and normally for replacing your birth certificate, you have to show your social. So I would have had to get their socials first. I managed to get a replacement for mine, but it still hasn't gotten here yet. Because that was my first step in being able to replace my birth certificate if need be. I wanted to go ahead and take those steps. Plus, mine is tattered and I've had it since I was 16. So it was past time to replace it, but still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she has that because a few things she needs to do with it. So that will help with that because it's just, if it's not one thing, it's another. Every step of the way. From car rentals, which was recently this week, where they guess they change daily in the rates. I forgot about that. So there's that.
And state to state.
And yeah, state to state. You want to make sure you choose the right. The moral of the story: make sure you choose the right city first and the right state.
No, I get the right city. Just okay.
It was wrong.
Okay, so I went to rent a car because my car is out of commission right now. I was going to drive to Indiana this weekend to pick up my kids, have them here for a week, and then take them back to their dad. Well, first off, it's a $250 deposit on a car, regardless. And last I knew, if you pay with a credit card, they don't usually hold the deposit. Well, apparently this particular one where I was getting it cheaper does. And so it also did not have free cancellation, so it charged me $50 regardless. And so I got it all set up, ready to go. Zach was going to be kind-hearted soul and take me into town so I could pick up the rental earlier today. And I was going to drive it home and then just leave first thing in the morning to drive out and grab them. Well, I was showing him the address and everything, and he points out that the Macomb that I had it set up for was a Macomb in Michigan, not the one in Illinois. And so I called the lady, or I called the 1-800 number to try and get it switched to the Macomb here, because I swear to God, it said Illinois. When I looked at it, it said Illinois. But I was wrong.
Tricky.
I was wrong. I think at that point I was just frustrated because of trying to find the cheapest way and trying to figure out how I was going to do that with the $250 deposit that was required and everything else. So I'm on the phone with the lady, and she's telling me instead of the $36 after taxes and everything that it was going to cost me, that it was going to cost me almost $90 for the same vehicle.
It's like 50 to 60 more.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not understanding how it's this much. She goes, oh, our rates change daily. I'm like, I get that, but I set this up 2 hours ago. You can't tell me that the rates change that much in 2 hours.
Right.
So then she's like, well, if you go online, you should be able to get it cheaper, because I had a code through my work to get it. I think it was like 30 to 40% off or something like that. So I decided to go online. I go and change the thing, and it's still twice as expensive for 2 days, because that $30 whatever was for 2-day rental. Well, then it turned into being almost that much or being almost $80 for the 2 days. So I switch it to just 1 day. It still ends up being like $40-something. I'm just like, okay, well, it is what it is. I got to do this. It's fine. I got it switched. It was going to be a little bit more complicated because it wasn't a 30-minute drive to Macomb. It was going to be an hour and a half drive to Peoria. And then my kids' dad gets a hold of me and tells me that my daughter has an appointment on Monday. So I would have to bring them back for the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So needless to say, my plans got canceled, and I'm going to have to postpone them until I get the rods taken out my foot. Because I would not have been able to get them back for her appointment. Her appointment's very important for her eye exam and stuff like that, especially before school. And it's not a company that you can call and make the appointment for like the next week. Usually they're pretty busy, so it took 2 months for her to even get this appointment.
17th?
Her appointment's on the 10th.
Well, your foot,
Yes.
your appointment.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to remind me what time again, because I'll have to take that off.
We set it
Didn't
for the
like
afternoon.
in the afternoons. I didn't have to take as much.
Yeah.
Time.
I'll have to.
You have to look at it. Was, I couldn't remember. It was 2:30, something like that.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
I'll have to look. Okay.
Because
So
it's in my thing over there.
yeah, because I've yet to do that. I'm like, I got to.
But since her appointment was on the 10th, that's a Monday. I couldn't get them next weekend because my appointment is on the 17th, and I didn't want them here for it. So, depending on how I'm doing after my foot is taken care of, will depend on when I go and get them, whether it be that weekend or during the week. I haven't decided yet. So.
The doctor will probably update you again on that, depending on how you're doing on it. But
Doctor's probably going to tell me that I still can't make that drive. But
well,
yes.
no, what I meant, what I was saying was before you can use 2 of your God-given feet again. I knew that was supposedly August, but we don't know a set date or time. It's not going to be like 11 p.m. on August 13th. She's going to walk again. It'll be a miracle. But I'm wondering what pressure. That's why I'm going to hopefully get an update from the surgeon, doctor, whoever, that when she can walk again. And
even
we'll have to do something about that wheelchair, a ceremony or something. Because she won't have to use it again. Yeah, retirement party.
I would keep it as a back burner.
Oh, it's mine. Cecil said that I could have it, so.
Yeah, we're not returning it.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just, but
it's
it
mine.
still has to be some kind of something to do with the
Like we did
walker
with the
and the
lawnmower.
wheelchair both as some kind of a bygone. It's like stepping stone, literally. Of, something. We'll have to think of something.
Yes,
most
we'll have to do
likely,
something.
once you get your rods out, it might be up to a month more just to make sure
Yeah,
everything heals up.
And that's the reason I can't walk on it right now is because if I put pressure on the front part of my foot, it could snap the rods. If they snap the rods, then I'm going to be going to Helena to try
It'll be
and
another
get
trip.
them taken out.
I
And
have to drive her to somewhere, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah, we don't want to fly you there again.
Yeah, fly her.
no, I would scream in agony the hour-and-a-half drive because I'm not paying another fucking $2,000 for them to airlift me again. I'm good.
At least it's only $2,000.
Well, that'd be something. They're like, "Oh, you again? What'd you do now?" They show up. They like know you, like the Maureen at Walmart.
Oh my
They just
gosh.
know her by her first name basis.
We got a lot of healthcare in this country.
Yeah, I've become a pretty well-known person at Walmart. Hey, it's the chick that hurt her foot somehow
Yeah.
and hobbles in here on the walker and then takes a motorized cart, and then people give me dirty looks because they're older in motorized carts and I don't seem like I should need one.
Yeah, you're
So,
young. You have perfect use of your legs.
There's been a couple times where people piss me off enough that I put my foot up onto the thing to kind of elevate it. Just be like, look here, bitch. Keep giving me some dirty looks.
Yeah, I saw one today. I was trying to get cheese because I ate all the cheese this last week, and this lady wouldn't move out of the way. She knew I was there, so I had to like walk around her cart and grab it from around the wall. So,
That's when...
gotta love it. So.
See, and he'll do that too. He'll wait quietly, and I'm just like, excuse me, can I get past you? Which is out of character for me because I don't like to have that kind of, not necessarily confrontation, but dealing with people. My anxiety goes up.
You people. Yeah.
But
We all need
yeah.
to wear that, by the way.
All right.
But when it comes to that kind of thing, it's like, I need you to move out of my way. Now, mind you, there's a guy here around here for town that might be able to help me with my car, but I'm not the one to go and knock on doors and be like, hey, do you know where this guy lives? Because I was told to go and talk to him, but I have no idea where he's actually at.
Yeah, because if she was able to do that, she would have had him over by now. I mean, this would have happened probably the moment that she got the name dropped to her. So.
No, you were still trying to convince me to go to Morris at that point.
One of us could maybe help her tomorrow do that. Because
The door knocking, and you just ask. But she still wouldn't want to go up to the door whether she has a ride or not. I don't think.
No, I wouldn't. And on top of that, with trying to walk her my way up and down people's driveways to go knock on their doors and shit, especially with steps, I have to crawl up the steps.
That's why we were saying, Zach, better option would be wait until we can, or I can text Cecil or call him.
Well,
Ask him again if it's okay if she has.
Or you could just ask
Cecil's
him
number.
where this guy is located at.
Well, he doesn't know either. He just gives instructions.
Yeah,
but he
but
might know
at
the
least-
phone number.
No, he didn't know what phone number, because
Oh.
that's what I asked. He gave me instructions on where he was, but I didn't know the town well enough to know where he was talking about.
Maybe he'd be kind enough to drive us over there.
well, I can knock on the door. She can wait in the car. I can see if it's even him, and then go from there.
That works.
See the fun stuff here. Nothing is easy for her.
No.
Everything's complicated with
Everything's
Sasha.
money ho.
Yes, I had my little bit of a breakdown as to why the fuck shit in my life has to always be complicated.
Even Maureen at Walmart has
Oh my
to
gosh.
deal with this too, because there's something that was a surprise that she only got a store credit back for when she thought she would have the option to put it back on card or cash.
But being a previous team lead of Walmart, I'm fairly certain it's because I paid with multiple payment types, some of which were my MHS rewards points that I get for when me and my kids go to their to our appointments and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Since it was for the better for my car, I figured it would be a good idea to use that towards it, because
Yeah.
it's using it towards going to be able to see my kids.
Right. But the multiple things, I guess they get a little sketched when you use multiple. So.
Apparently, because I used 2 different cards for the MHS cards. I used cash and I used my debit card.
It was like 4
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Hey Jay,
I'm
yo,
fairly
just got
certain
YouTube
YouTube
notifications. I didn't know if you'd still be up, because I know from earlier I thought maybe you'd be in bed.
Hey Jay.
But
Hey.
hello. Hopefully you can game a little bit, but if not, I mean, we get it. Saturdays seem to be better for you as long as we start like 5 our time, 4 or 5 our time, 9-10 o'clock your time. But no, it just sucks, the time zone thing.
So you're using 6 hours.
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah, it's about 6 hours difference.
It's like 11 hours.
And apparently he's too loud when he games with us.
Well, I was wondering, his walls might be paper thin. That's another thing I was wondering.
I thought you said his balls.
No.
What?
It's okay. I said something about talking the other day when we were gaming, and they both thought I said fucking.
You said balls, right? I wasn't sure.
No, he said walls.
Oh,
I
walls.
thought he said balls.
Because her mind's in the gutter. Going to
Always.
bed soon, as it's almost 2. Oh, I figured you
Shut
would.
up.
I'm glad that you caught us, at least. That's good. So, I guess we'll think of you while we do it here.
We'll make lots of references to you and things that you would normally do.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
but
That's
yeah,
what we did last time.
yeah.
It's like Jay at this point would go in there and do all this crazy shit.
Oh, don't want. So weekends. So do you work? Is it 7 days of work? Week. So, because it used to be, I thought that you had weekends off, or you just
Or was that
broke
part
the
of your...
rules and you just stayed up late. I can't remember, but because I knew it was weekdays, it was hard to catch you because it'd be early nights for you. My dad stopped trying to part about me being loud.
Oh, I guess his parents are.
So
Care.
is the new hours because of getting your job back then? Or was that always a thing and you just stayed up until the...
Because sometimes
Time to
I
go to work.
swear he just was like, screw it, and he would just stay up late. But he'd pay for it later because he'd be tired,
Yeah.
because he'd pull an all-nighter, and then he'd go work.
In the morning, right?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, we're young, we can do that time to time, but I can understand it's back-to-back.
Oh, I do it all the time. Well,
Yeah.
I used to anyways.
Right.
I think the longest I stayed up was 48 hours. That was torture.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's just the stuff of complication with events that she has to do. And
Everything's a royal pain,
yeah.
Nothing in my
everything.
life comes easy, but nothing worth having comes easy, so there's that.
But yeah. No, I'm glad, Jay, that you caught the videos from last week, because that was great, especially that one clip where entity chased both of us around, and I had already threw the smudge stick in its face, so it left. It started to come after me, and then it was like, "The hell with you!" And then it went for her, and it got her. So that was funny. That was a good clip. Yes, I always work 7 days a week. Staying up is catching up to me big time. Yeah.
7 days
Gotcha.
a week. Wow. No,
7
no,
days a
it's-
week. That would suck.
Yeah, my pet sitting days was like I'd have something every day.
Yeah. But now I work from 6 until 5. It used to be 8 a.m. until 3, but want as much money as I can get. Well, get that. That's why Zach travels further away to get bigger purchases, try to save up. Or make more money going that way.
At least I'm done with the Legos for now.
Yeah.
Had to get the Hocus Pocus set and the Rivendell set. There's nothing else I really care about. So
Yeah, and every penny I get from here on right now is going towards fixing my car and paying for my kids' school supplies.
Yay.
Yeah.
back to school. Back
Well,
to school.
normally her dad's always paid for her or for them to get their school supplies. That was his thing that he wanted to do, and now all of a sudden this year he's asking me to pay for it. So
Yeah. He likes to make you stuff or something.
something like that. We're not getting into that right now. I could do my own live vlog for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
At least your kids have somewhere to stay for now, so it's good.
Right.
I guess that's the bright side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids are even homeless. It's horrible. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say that also, Jay, without giving too much out here, I kind of discussed a little bit with them tonight about maybe a possible surprise thing come to the main channel soon. But think of the gaming that we do mixed with urbexing. That's all the hint I can give you right now, at least. Catch maybe on Discord, and I can fill you in a little bit more. But kind of try to bring back a revised, very different, but still along the lines of exploration. The Peculiar Encounter series I used to do with my best friend Colton. Well, we have to change a little bit because he's hardly ever around anymore. He stayed back in Iowa when I moved out here. We're just not able to get them out as much. So
You have
I
go
need
see
to
it.
revamp that series, make it into something completely unique and unique. So
Well, you can also do peculiar with other people too. It doesn't have to be Colton, so you can just be part of it.
well, it's just we'll talk more later.
Okay.
Jay says loving it though. Get paid 10 an hour to look after the farm and feed stuff.
Oh,
Do the odd painting job and wash the tractors and all that. So it's fun. So I can't cry.
probably does
He's a-
farm sitting too.
It's the Irish farmer. Yeah, he's kind of a farmer, dude. Bro, I can't wait to watch that. Yeah. It's something different because you know how I gripe about how former urbexers, that go into
God.
paranormal stuff,
Please don't get me started again.
equals cringe. This is a unique way that I have not seen anyone else do that, and this is why I'm so vague about it right now on here because I don't want to. Oh, because it's live, so. But yeah. But plans are happening.
Plans are in the works.
Yeah.
Discussions are being made.
Mm-hmm. All right. Other news here. I've been doing a live animal trap. And he finds that so hilarious. I'm doing we have a couple groundhogs that had dug a hole under one of the porches here, and they can be destructive if you just let them be. And so I'm not letting them be. So I'm putting a stop to it. I'm like, okay, go burrow somewhere else, not near the mansion. There's plenty of fields nearby. So I ended up because before between the deck and the ground there was this, and I hated it anywhere from day one, but it's like that thin wood checker design that was up there. Well, these rodents can chew through that, so they chewed a hole through it. I think it was already there when I moved in, so this burrow that they already had is probably several years old, honestly.
Which is why they're so pissed at you for filming it.
Probably. But it's funny because last year I didn't see a single groundhog at all, and then this year I'm seeing them active again. So I don't know if they kind of move from burrow and they come back to their old burrow, and I don't know all about groundhog behavior, but I just know
they
they can't.
under the house where you don't see them, I guess.
Well, if they dug deep enough down, yeah, but there's no going through the brick in the foundation. They'd probably go, but they can go easily
Or they
10
did
to
go
60
to,
feet down.
say, Cecil's, and
Yeah.
he made the same decision you did as far as filling their hole and stuff. So they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we're going to go back to this place that they didn't bug us.
So I cut some galvanized wire fencing, put it around the base on there, and put some bricks at the base of it. And a couple times I noticed digging from the outside, so that was good because I wanted to make sure that they weren't, trapped in there. Because at first, let me rewind a little bit. That first night before I did that, I used that cayenne pepper stuff, which was supposed to be a natural deterrent. They hate that because it burns and they hate the smell of it. So I dumped a bunch of that in their hole. And then I gave them, 24, that was like their 24-hour notice to vacate. So
we made jokes about putting signs saying eviction and stuff
Yeah.
out there too.
So I then had actually filled that hole with some topsoil, and then put that galvanized steel grid, a big chunk of it. I don't know, it's like 2 by 3, like 2 feet by 3 feet, or 4 foot by 4 foot, something like that, over it, and put some cinder blocks, like concrete blocks, over that, so there's no way to lift it. And then I did the stuff around the siding the next day. I wanted to give them a chance to get out of there. And I think it worked because the new digging and new holes that popped up over the next couple of days were from the outside. So they were trying to get back into their area that they were. And of course, there's a little bit of cat and mouse. I didn't patch it back up, fix it up in a different way, get more bricks and do that. And then there's a different hole in another area. I'm like, you guys are determined, aren't you? And then I went and grabbed some more bricks and filled up the dirt. It was a battle going on for a while there. And then I upped the game.
On the outside of
Yeah,
it, so when
I
they
did.
start digging.
I poured it all the way around. It didn't seem to stop them from digging, at
You
least.
have to do the whole mansion.
Then, no. And then I got a live animal trap. So I upped my game and got that. They're attracted to peanut butter and sunflower seeds, so I put that in the trigger tray thing. And it's been up, and for the last, now we're 2 solid days, no new activity. I don't trust it though, but I think it's ironic that now that I have that trap, about 15 hours before I got it, and then about over 24 hours now that it's been out there, no activity of groundhogs going on.
Well, and
So I
the
think that's
Thumper
funny.
Family hasn't gotten themselves
And
stuck in
our
that.
bunnies here, the Thumper family, they haven't got their way in there, so...
Hey, remember.
I used Jay, you appreciate this. I used a motion sensor, motion cam, as we call them, and did place it out there. I brought it in today to check it, and then it was raining, so I didn't take it back out. I think it's in a water-resistant case, but I just brought it in because nothing was happening. And so I figured maybe they're camera shy, So I just took that away, and now I'm
There must be
like,
a
go
shade
on,
nearby."
do what you want to do. You're not recorded. Go ahead, get that peanut butter. So I'm going to check it again in the morning and see if we got... Because if I drive them 20 or more miles away, they won't find their home. They won't come back to here, and we'll be groundhog free. Let me see what he said.
We did make jokes about me traveling to Indiana with them and releasing them on people who deserve it.
Let them destroy their
And,
yards.
And I shared the groundhog that you seen when he was driving with the groundhog. So I imagine Eric driving with the groundhog in the front seat, taking him somewhere strange.
Jay says, oh God, I hope you get them soon. At the moment, the farm has a big badger and fox and rat problem, so that's keeping me on my toes. That will happen. Badgers are nasty. They're worse, I would say, than groundhog. Groundhogs are shy and they run away from you. Badgers can be vicious. Better than what some do here. I have seen people use gas to get stuff out, but yeah. Oh yeah, start their hole on fire. That's what Midwesterners do to underground wasp nests. They'll wait for it to be nighttime, and they'll pour gas down the little hole that the wasps made, and then light it ablaze. Luckily, we don't have ground wasps here. We just have, and we've had less normal wasps this year, which I blame the drought on, which is good. And I have taken more countermeasures against them early, so I go around like the Terminator with wasp pesticide, and I'm spraying things in late March and April when they're just starting to try to come out and play, and I'm like, nope, you're not playing here, go away.
No, we get plenty of sweat bees though, which is annoying.
Yeah,
when
so
I have to watch the ground to make sure that I'm not stepping on them or anything like that.
Anyway, catch you both tomorrow. Badly need a gaming day this week. Has been interesting. My mental health is
Yeah. I was in the same boat. I was saying yesterday how I desperately.
That's why we were hoping that you could join, but we get it. I understand. Well, just have to start earlier tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just keep that in mind. And try to get you then. And if you've already left us, well, hopefully you'll see us tomorrow. We'll check in. What?
Start at 3 or 4 if you have to. So
I might.
9
Yeah.
or 10 for him.
So, tomorrow I'm not sure what else is. I mean, I got to finish mowing. I did start that today.
Uh-oh.
As always, I don't
got-
have shit planned.
I got 3/4 or maybe 2/3 of the yard done, and then I have most of it's done today, and then I have lesser of it to do tomorrow, which is good.
Did you already get the
No,
lovely-
that back area is that's included in tomorrow's.
Ah.
Were you mowing in the rain too?
No, it was just starting to sprinkle, and then I had to I did about an hour of it today,
Okay.
and then I'll finish the rest of it tomorrow. But I knew the rain was starting.
Yeah.
I mean, I could stay up until 4 if needed.
It's up
As
to
in
you.
tonight.
I mean, it's up to you. If you're wanting to stay up, but if you think that it's gonna make your work suffer,
You know you wanna. Don't cave to peer pressure. You know you wanna.
It's another hour and 45 minutes.
I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking about worst case scenario when you get off work tomorrow. Shoot us a message, and he should have the lawn stuff probably done by then, anyways.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for it to be cooler, which luckily it is, because earlier in the week we had 90s here, and I wasn't gonna mow in that. So I waited until
I'm not mowing ever again.
I waited until it was I think it was upper 70s out when I started mowing, so it was nice. It was pleasant. I didn't sweat one iota. Yes, today. Okay.
Yeah,
He's coming around.
It's because he knows we need it.
He
needs it.
he
I need
misses it
We all
too.
do. Yeah, I know.
And Zach is learning. We don't have a third gaming computer here, but he's learning, and he might trade off. We did offer him to do that with Phasmo, more importantly, especially with the idea what we're talking about earlier. He would learn better off of Phasmo than the Demonology game. So, we'll probably
Especially
do-
seeing how we don't even know the Demonology game enough to base it off.
Well,
of
they
that.
use the different kind of equipment that's not as realistic as we do in our actual team. So, I don't want to confuse this guy more using stuff on there that isn't really the same stuff we have or doesn't really exist.
Yeah, Jay, between yesterday and the day before, I'm in the same boat.
He had 4 mental
Dealing with my-
breakdowns today.
Yeah, dealing with my kids' dad is not always pleasant, and with how he's been recently, it's been even less so. So
Being made to get back on my pills. LOL. She's off of hers right now.
I found one today.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Did you take it?
Yes.
Yeah, tidy yours for a couple more days.
No.
It's like
It
it
has
doesn't
like
last long.
No, it has like a. I mean, it's an extended release, so I mean, it does last throughout the day. But since I needed to focus on getting my stuff called and trying to get that taken care of, I went ahead and took it today. But of course, the lady never called me back. I called her 3 times to try and get the Medicaid ball rolling. Because then, when I go for my appointment in 2 weeks, or in a week from Monday, then if I tell them I have Medicaid in the works, I don't think they're going to charge me that $75 fee.
Yeah.
But I forgot I had to make sure to set that aside too.
Did you ever try anything like that for focus yourself, whether it be Adderall or what was
Vyvanse.
Vyvanse?
There's Strattera, Vyvanse, Adderall, Ritalin,
Ritalin's the other one, yeah.
Yeah, I just take the blood pressure one every few days because my grounding kind of neutralizes that, and it does increase my focus too. And can't wait till my mat gets here on Monday because then I can do it consistently every day inside. I don't have to like worry about going outside if it's not a good day.
Yeah.
So and also just doing breathing exercises and just I'm more of a one thing at a time guy. So
Yeah.
I can't maybe two things at a time, but any more than that is too much input.
Well, and
that's what's happening. So.
But don't they?
the way I've explained it is my brain off of my meds is like 15 different train tracks going at once, and the conductor is a monkey.
A monkey.
So it's a huge train wreck, and so I can't focus on one track mind without getting distracted by 3 different other things. So by taking my meds, it helps me focus. When I'm not on my meds, it helps with if I drink an energy drink, because for most people that makes them hyper, it makes them like energetic and stuff. For me, it calms me down and helps me focus. So that's why I've been drinking more of those recently than I normally would. But maybe that is what I normally would do, but still.
Right. Yeah. So.
So if you say you went to annual checkup and you explain to them about not being able to focus on things for very long periods of time, they might offer to give you something like that, and it might actually help you be able to focus a little bit more and make you feel better.
And autism does include ADHD. It's possible I'm partly that.
Yeah.
But I
yeah, I wondered.
Yeah, because I do get silly hyper and just focus. But also too, I was just clueless about the setting. I thought you were talking about the game. You were talking about real life. I never heard that in the beginning. At least I didn't really catch it, so that's why I was confused.
And that's why I re-explained it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. Like I was saying, what we were talking about earlier. Inspired by a video game, brought into.
You're saying too much about it right now.
I just totally did.
Yeah.
I just totally didn't catch it.
So anyway, let me catch up on here. Been off them for a year, but to the point where I think I need to be on them. But I do hate them as they make me eat and sleep legit a zombie. Had me on 4 a day, now 3. On them for depression, anxiety, and mood stabilizers.
See, when I was on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds, they made me sleep all the time. I could not stay awake to save my life.
Yeah, me too. It was Zoloft. It made me a zombie, so I stopped taking it.
They ended up upping my Adderall at the time just to counteract it, to counterbalance it, so that I could actually be awake and functioning and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm just trying to do mine naturally because that's the best way.
well, and I've been
so.
believe it or not, I was taking them while I was with my kids' dad, like towards the end of our relationship. It was postpartum depression from having my daughter, plus all my cancer stuff was right then when I found out about it and having to get the surgery and all that shit. So after things in our relationship went really badly and I ended up moving out and moving into my own place, it got to a point where I realized I didn't need them anymore. And so I ended up taking myself off of them. And I haven't really needed them since. Things now, especially with where I was at, I did consider getting back on them because my situation was just really, really badly affecting my mental state. But coming here was my peace and everything, so I looked forward to that, and it helped basically become my antidepressant when I was here. And now being here, it's a lot better dealing with my kids' dad, even though it bums me out that my kids aren't here. It bums me out that I can't go and see them and everything. It's not to the point where I would feel like needing to get back on that stuff. I give myself a moment, realize that it's something out of my control. I can't do anything about it right now. It's not something that I chose because I can't go because of my foot. And then let it go, basically.
Yeah,
and please don't start singing that song. Please don't. I've heard it too much in the past several years.
Jay says, so does Triggers here, yeah, and blames his car and dad getting to him lately.
Yeah. It's like my trying to pay off my parents thing. It's just gonna happen when it happens, and just make the best of it. And good thing is that we have a support network. That's the important thing. So,
Yeah, you guys are my support network because outside of you guys, my family doesn't at all.
Yeah,
sad,
I
so.
saw that. I got more work done on my car today. Still needs more. Well, never ending, huh?
I know that feeling, although
She needs work on her car.
I got a code reader, and so I saw the codes, and I think I sent them to you. I took that code reader back yesterday so I could get my $50-something back for it.
Yeah.
That was the one that had to be all complicated and had to go back on a gift card rather than back on my account.
Yep.
So, yay me.
So you have to buy something else instead.
Well, it helped towards the things that I got yesterday. I used the end of my food card that I had, and then ended up using, I think it was only like $14 off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've still got money on it. It'll help me be able to save what comes out of my check, or comes in my checks.
Yeah.
And I had to do my registration today too.
Yeah.
That was $85.
Oh, for the car, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But luckily they were able to send it out here
Mm-hmm.
because I don't need my registration going to my ex's house.
No.
That'll suck.
Exactly. And you can keep your plates. That was the other issue because I guess Indiana's a one plate state. Wasn't that what?
Yes.
And we have places for front and rear plates here. So,
Illinois is a 2-plate state requirement. So I would have had to jerry rig a secondary plate to the front of my car.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. North Carolina's one plate as well.
yeah. All that's left is front shocks. My car's done. 1,500 later. Well, 1,700 when I get the shocks. But well worth it. Be well worth it. Cool.
Yeah, I was estimated anywhere between about $600 to $1,200 for my car, and most of that being labor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something I can YouTube my way through doing.
Yeah.
Because if I fuck it up, I could royally fuck my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have enough of that.
No royal flushes for that.
No.
About 8:30 will be our time here. So we'll probably go for just a few more minutes here and then wrap up, since I didn't really have anything too extensive other than talk about the groundhog and then updating on your stuff.
Yeah, and I guess all I
My
have
life
to
could be a
say
sitcom, I swear.
It could be.
is I got to explore the town I was born in,
Yeah.
and there's a video coming out soon for that. I was born in one of the four cardinal Halloween towns, Anoka, Minnesota, and they have a pumpkin roundabout I drove around and walked around, and they have really cute downtown, a lot like my brothers in Michigan's town, Ypsilanti. They're almost identical. It's kind of scary. There's even a waterfall too.
Oh, and you did your trip after Creatures last week, so
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm getting to that. And then I found like this Halloween Capitol mural, which is beautiful. I found this giant iron pumpkin I kind of walked up to. So they're very Halloween centric there. It made me feel at home. And then, yeah, so I kind of filmed all that. I already made a short for it. It's on YouTube now. And kind of like a summary of all of it. But there's more in that longer video.
On this channel, plug. The short, and it just got uploaded.
Yeah, it's on the Dimwits channel. So, and then after I did that, I got the Hocus Pocus Lego set on the way there. Then I went to see my relatives, and I was really just there one night because it was really hot. It was above 90, so and plus it was kind of loud. We had fireworks, but not all the time. But it was mostly the heat and the sun. The sun was so strong. Even though the sun is lower in the sky, it's just really, really strong there. And my uncle was the same way. Yeah, so I noticed like about 4 or 5 people in my family that all hated the sun. So it was so nice to know I'm not the only one. So there's fellow emos in my family, I found out. And so I got to see many of them. So I definitely know where I get that from. So there's none of that in my dad's family at all. So they all kind of judge me for it. So But yeah, I had a good time. I got to see my two aunts who were my late mother's sisters, and we got to talk more about her. Caught them up about mom and dad, and we pretty much decided they just don't understand me, and that's perfectly fine. But they do perfectly. And then I saw Dad's hometown briefly on the way home, and did some footage of that for the videos coming up. And then I briefly said hi to Della on the way home, and gave her a keychain that she wanted, and she gave me $10 for it, which helped me get home. And she was a little bit out of the way, but not too much, just mostly on the way back. So
You gotta move blow by blow. You don't spoil it. It's gonna be a next video. It's not done yet. I mean, you want people to see it too.
oh yeah,
Well, they'll get to see it, but
Yeah.
right now they can.
I just explaining where I went to.
Right.
And
Right.
like, there's no pictures of any of this.
Yeah.
So this is his words.
Jay said he saw the last one. Likes the emo news, like the style a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had heard that one before too.
Yeah,
Still need to
that
fully
was
watch
one
it.
I did on the way up, and that was completely unplanned, but it turned out really cute. So,
Yeah.
and then and then I got back here. I'm here for about 5 more weeks before I have to go work again for 2 months. So, and I'm supposed to meet Della in Massachusetts for a few days at the end, but we'll see what happens with that. And also go to Vermont State Corn Maze. So.
We were just talking about that in the car yesterday. I was asking if they did corn mazes and stuff around here, and he was telling me about a sunflower one.
I'm sure they do. So, I'm sure they do. I just never been to any out here. So.
I haven't been to one at all.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice, celebration of winter heat back home.
Yes. I will be very happy to be able to walk through anything at this point. Even if it's a puddle, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So, other thoughts? Anything else?
I'm good.
No.
I'm ready to wrap it. I don't mean your foot.
I'm ready to wrap.
I did
I
that
had
earlier.
to do that. I had to do it. Those of you only listening, yeah, she gave me the one finger salute on that one.
With a smile.
Yes. All is courteous. But yeah, so stay tuned. Next week, be here, and hopefully the new format with the different. And that's Kane, who's got a gaming buddy. He just said he can join in one moment, so we
Yay.
might have a full team in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll have the different setup. I don't know if you caught that at the beginning, Jay. I have a secondary webcam. It's actually better than this one. It has a manual dial for focus on it, and it does 60 frames per second in 1080. Where this one I think is a 30 with 1080. So yeah, so well we don't have to all be grouped on one camera trying to huddle around one mic, So it was set up a little bit more professional, and then streaming deck is still on the agenda to get it so it can look more professional. Because until I get that streaming deck, I'll probably have it split screen, one camera on one side, one on the other, kind of thing. We'll figure it out.
Interesting when you end up pulling stuff up and try and make it small enough where you're not covering up the camera part.
Yeah. So, all right, Jay. So see you on the Twitch side in a little bit. Give us some time to transition over to it. I might go ahead and just park myself in the game lobby chat thing just to kind of wait right there, even though I might mute it while I step away. But I'll check in with Kane too. So anyone else though, everyone else I should say, thanks for tuning in this week. And from all of us here at Creatures of the Night, peace, rock on, and enjoy your whatever you're doing. So, all right.
Bye.
Bye.